turn on the lights because the Danbury Westerners are playing tonight. They'll be swinging their bats and they'll be hitting home runs. It's a night of excitement and family fun. Westy helps everybody cheer on the team as the crowd snacks on popcorn and delicious ice cream. On a warm summer night, you know it's always a treat. Westerners baseball simply cannot be beat. Everybody knows the score. The fans are screaming out for more. Excitement builds on through the night. His victory is soon in sight. The runner advances as he heads for home plate. Rounding the bases, there will be no debate. When the last run is in, the fans will proclaim the Danbury Westerners have won the game.
Welcome to the Danbury Westerners podcast with your host, Christian Gardecki. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 2 of the Danbury Westerners podcast. I am your host Christian Gardecki here on our Westerners SoundCloud and a YouTube channel, and I'm glad that you are with us here once again for episode 2 on the podcast. Today's episode we will go to coastal Connecticut for a Danbury Westerners event that is closed to the public, but we got some inside scoops on the new Westerners uniforms and the 2021 season. We talked to John Pitzer and Bill Guider about what is going on with the new uniforms and the new Danbury Westerners coming up, as we had a photo shoot at Coastal Connecticut on Saturday, November 28th, at Coastal Connecticut, where the Westerners, we got 3 players to come out for the 2021 team to model our new uniforms and do a whole photo shoot. We also got some things to talk about concerning the Westerners John Pitzer wanted me to bring up. And we also will have our alumni spotlight this week here on the Westerners podcast. All of that and coming up and more here on the Westerners podcast. Danbury Westerners Baseball is brought to you by our championship sponsors: Bill and Carol Poland Endowment Fund, City of Danbury, Danbury Parks and Rec, Fairfield County Bank, Family and Children's Aid, Hat City Physical Therapy, and the Schaefer family. Thank you to our championship sponsors of the Danbury Westerners. Hello everyone and welcome to the Danbury Westerners podcast. We are here on location at Coastal Connecticut Baseball here in Danbury and Kenosha Avenue, as Danbury Westerners are having a little photo shoot here at Coastal. We have 3 2021 players here and Westy showing off their new duds, new uniforms, and new Westy hat, new Westy head here. We have a bunch of people here with the Westerners telling us what is going on and getting ready for the 2021 season here at Coastal. Once again, I'm Christian Gardecki, the host of the Danbury Westerners podcast, here live from Coastal Connecticut, as the Danbury Westerners are showing off their new duds, new uniforms coming out real soon, and we will get that for you and talk to some people behind it here at Coastal. Welcome back here to the podcast. We are here with Westerners President John Pitzer, and John, you had a big hand in helping do these uniforms. What are your thoughts on how they came out? Now, we obviously can't show them to you because we're a podcast, but what are your thoughts on these?
Well, we really needed to clean up the old uniforms. They were getting a little tattered, the home uniforms. So we went with kind of a Raiders motif. We're adopting the silver and black, obviously, as our colors, and we just wanted to make the most of it. But when you see them, you can really see the Raider-esque design in it, and that's what we used as the model.
Obviously, it is the home jerseys. The road jersey, the black jersey, will stay the same for the most part, but the home jerseys now have a Dodgers like number on the front. They changed differently as we had the last uniforms used from 2014 to 2019. And do you think it'll be the same?
Well, you got to remember, Christian, there was red on the front of that, the red numbers on the front. That's a carryover.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're excited about that. And we have the American flag on the back, right below the neck, where it should be.
And the NECBL logo, which is required for all 13 NECBL teams.
That's right, and we're still looking for a sponsor for that right sleeve. If anybody out there is interested in sponsoring the new uniforms, your logo sure would look great on that brand new uniform.
Yeah, make sure to email Bill Geider at bill@danburywesterners.com if you would like to be interested in sponsorship. Thank you.
We also have hat sponsorships and baseball sponsorships available.
Yeah, and once again, talk to Bill there. He's also here. We'll have him on later. Thank you very much, John Pitzer.
Thank you, Christian. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. All right, thank you, John. All right, we're here once again at Coastal Connecticut. Christian Gardecki here with Bill Geider, the Director of Public Relations for the Danbury Westerners, who has been a big help for us with this podcast. Bill, tell us about today's event here.
Well, we're here at the fine folks at Coastal Connecticut allowed us to come in and do pictures of the new 2021 uniforms. We've had several players come down, take away from their Thanksgiving holiday, give up their free time. I think the fans are going to be really, really happy with the way the new uniforms have turned out. If you go to any road games, they'll look very familiar, but the home team uniforms retain the Westerner logo, actually say Danbury on the front above the Westerner logo now, and are very sharp. I can't wait to show them off at Rogers Park come June and July.
Yes, you too.
Now, Bill, obviously, also with the new uniforms comes a new look for our good friend Westy. As right here, actually, bad radio here, but Westy's sitting right in front of us. Thoughts on the new Westy?
We are thrilled because Westy was getting a little threadbare, and although we took him to the cleaners and gave him a bath often, he wasn't cleaning up the way we would like him to. The new Westy looks very much like the old one, except he's got a much better hat with the Westerner logo on the hat. And
Not a cowboy hat.
not a cowboy hat. I think the fans will be very pleased. He looks familiar, but new and nice and cleaned up, and all the fans and the kids will be very happy.
All right, well, Bill, thank you very much for having us here, and thank you very much for the interview.
It's always a pleasure to be on with you, Chris. Take care.
All right, thank you, Bill.
The Danbury Westerners Baseball Club would like to thank all of their fans, sponsors, and volunteers for 25 fun-filled years. They wish that 2020 could have been their 26th, but they're looking forward to seeing everyone at the newly renovated Rogers Park in June and July of 2021. And while you're waiting for baseball to resume, please patronize the Westerners sponsors. Charter Oak Brewery on Chilton Rock Road in Danbury is open for takeout. Images, fine printing of Brookfield will help your business cope with new ways of doing business. And the Pickle Law Firm personal injury and divorce attorneys are available to talk about your case right now.
Thanks once again to Bill Geider and John Pitzer for hopping on the podcast with us here at Coastal Connecticut. We also like to thank the fine folks at Coastal Connecticut Athletics on Kenosha Avenue in Danbury. Thank you. Thank them for having us for our uniform photo shoot. Be on the lookout on the Westerners' Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter on the new uniforms. Now, John Pitzer wanted me to pass along some information on the future of Westerners baseball. What might you see at Rogers Park? Some new things you'll see at Rogers Park, as well as a call to action on one of our longtime fans who is going through some tough times. And we'll post the link to that on our YouTube here in the description. So we'll get to that in just a moment. I'd like to thank Berkshire Broadcasting for the great ads they made for us to get the word out about our sponsors. So thank you to all of our Westerners sponsors over the last 26 years, especially the last couple of years. We know 2020 was tough for everybody, and we'd like you to check out our sponsors all around the greater Danbury area. So John Pitzer has passed along a note about one of our fans. This is from Paul Schaefer on his GoFundMe page. Scott Esposito has been a fan of the Westerners for over 5 years, coined the phrase King Kong Ding Kong after one of our great players, Giovanni Ding Kong, became the NECBL's all-time home runs leader in the league's history in 2016 and 17. Scott's going through some tough times. He lost his daughter, his oldest son, and his wife and his mother all in 3 years while being diagnosed with cancer 3 times. And it's just been an absolutely tough time for Scott and his family. He is with his son now. I believe his son's name is Ryan. And going through some tough times. They are 4 months behind in their rent. Scott says that if they do not have sufficient funds to raise, to pay rent, they'll be evicted and Ryan will be sent to social services. And it's just a horrible situation for someone who has been a great fan of ours for many years. Scott, I've seen Scott at games a lot. Him and Ryan both go to the games at Rogers Park. Absolutely good fans, good people. And, that's the thing about the Westerners is we are a small town organization, of course. We love all of our fans no matter what. And we're always there. Last season with Allison Carballo and Allie's Army, where we raised over $700 for Allie's Army. Actually, no, over a couple thousand, actually. We raised a lot of money for Allie's Army by every home run that we hit at Rogers Park. That's just the type of people that we are here at the Westerners. I'll post the link to the GoFundMe and read more about Scott. That Paul Schaefer, our president emeritus, is organizing this. It'll be in our YouTube link here on the Westerners podcast. Go help out. Scott is a great guy who has been a great fan, and we love all of our fans of the Westerners here in the greater Danbury area, and we really appreciate everybody who comes out to our games. And it really sucks to see this happen to somebody who is a great guy. So, we wish our best to Scott and Ryan, and hopefully we get to see them at Rogers Park in 2021. And up next, we'll talk about the different changes we'll have at Rogers Park in 2021.
The Danbury Westerners Baseball Club would like to thank all of their fans, sponsors, and volunteers for 25 fun-filled years. They wish 2020 could have been their 26th, but they're looking forward to seeing everyone at the newly renovated Rogers Park in June and July of 2021. While you're waiting for baseball to resume, please patronize their sponsors. Texas Roadhouse on Newtown Road in Danbury is open for takeout. Fairfield County Bank is available for all your personal and business banking needs. And Unlimited Signs in Brookfield will help your business cope with the new way of doing business.
Now, talking about Rogers Park for 2021. Yes, it's going to be a new look Rogers Park. Now, John Pitzer wanted me to pass this along. I guess it's our official announcement on what's going on at Rogers Park. And there'll be 2 phases coming up for Rogers Park on the renovations. First off, well, technically there's 3. First off, we resodded the field and leveled everything out. Thanks to the fine folks of the city of Danbury. Rogers Park now has a new field. It's all leveled out, and I think it will look perfect for Rogers Park, and hopefully new drainage system as well. We didn't have a lot of rain problems in the 2019 season, as showed in My Boys of Summer, our documentary. Make sure to check that out. The link is in the will be in under here. Check out My Boys of Summer. And there were not a lot of rainouts, but 2018 was a year where we had too many rainouts, had to push back games, it was awful for the rain here at Rogers Park. But hopefully that will change with a new drainage system. A new field, new sod. Hopefully that'll happen. And then Rogers Park, some new fencing will happen here. So, with the new fencing at Rogers Park, we will start with the new dugout fencing on both sides. Of course, the away side at Rogers Park, if you're looking out towards the street, it is on your right side is the away. The Westerners are on the left side. There's always been a bullpen down on the right field end, or down on the first base line. There's always been a bullpen down there. That will stay there, but there will be a backstop for that bullpen. It'll be 8x19 backstop for that bullpen. There will be 10 foot by 120 feet fencing going behind home plate. There will be dugout fencing on each side. It will be 8 foot by 50 foot on each side for the dugout. Of course, there'll be a new backstop. We'll get rid of all the extra cages, put up a new black chain link backstop. Yes, everything's going to be in black chain link, which would be much easier to look out on the field. Going down the third base line, we'll also have 10 by 160 foot fencing, which hopefully will help everyone either not get hit by a ball, because there have been some crazy shots coming straight towards our press box here on the third base end, and that will be very cool. I believe the fence is 4 foot high right now at Rogers Park. Well, now it's going to be 10 foot high going down. And then for phase 2, we can't really share the details, but phase 1 is what is coming to Rogers Park next year. So we can share that. Phase 2, we do know what's going to happen, but we can't really share that right now. Anyway, it's time for our alumni spotlight. This week, we're going to look at one person. We'll look at Jesse Cole. Now you're saying, who is Jesse Cole? He played for the Westerners in 2005 and 2006 with the Danbury Westerners, and he has really built an impressive career in the world of baseball, but not on the field. We'll get to that in just a moment. Jesse Cole is a native of Scituate, Massachusetts. Played high school at Scituate High School in Massachusetts. He was a pitcher at Wofford College in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Played 2003, 2004, and then 2005. Took a year off in 2006. Came back as a senior, a redshirt senior in 2007 after playing 2006 and 2005 in the summer with the Danbury Westerners between his time in Wofford. He was a pitcher there in his 2003, his freshman year. 1-9 on the year, a 7.57 ERA in 15 starts. 13 starts in his second year, 5-6 on the year, a 6.65 ERA. And in his third year with Wofford in the South Conference, 2-7, 5.97 ERA in 12 games. Only played 2 games in his 2007 season. In 9 innings, he had a 9 ERA and 0-1 record. But baseball is not really what we're talking about here with Jesse Cole. Yes, it is, but not as a player. Now, Jesse's stats on the 2005 Westerners we do have as well. He started in 7 games, only had 8 appearances, 3-3 record on the year, and 44.1 innings pitched. Jesse had a 3-3 record, as we said before, and he was third on the team with an earned run average of qualified pitchers behind Cody Riordan and Mike Tarsi, who both went to minor league baseball. Jesse had a 2.64 ERA. He also did bat a little bit with the Westerners too. Jesse did play out a little bit as well. He had 53 at bats for the Westerners, had scored 6 runs, had 10 hits, had a double as we're going down the line here. And he also had 2 home runs. Westerners, he had a 189 batting average for the Westerners on a team that has some good players on there too. Brad Holt, the brother of Mike Holt, was on this team. Good team the Westerners had, but obviously the Westerners did not really play well. They finished the year 20-22 in the 2005 season. Now, I don't think we had the stats for the 2006 season, but we have a cool little thing we just found here that Jesse Cole wrote. Yes, thank you to Web Archives for finding this out first in the Wayback Machine. So Jesse Cole, he wrote a blog for the Westerners every once in a while. The team went 14-26 in the year. He had a little list here of ejections. There were 3. He has a bunch of cool funny things he has here. Memorable moments. One of the interns got ejected. I believe this is the one that Paul keeps telling us the story. There was a team dinner at Barbary's. And it's a lot of things. We will put the link in there for this little blog here that Jesse wrote. He knows how to write, and we'll tell you why that is more, because Jesse Cole used that writing skill more. So after his career ended at Wofford, and he absolutely loved it here in Danbury. He blogged as a player, which was really cool. And he thanked a lot to everybody here at the board, Terry Whalen, and Jesse Cole said he shall live to blog another day, and yes, he has. So we're gonna go on here to Jesse's website, findyourtelltux.com. So Jesse Cole, he played baseball, but he is the founder of Fans First Entertainment. He is the owner of the Savannah Bananas. He also ran the Gastonia Grizzlies as the president and GM for them. He got that job in 2011 with the Gastonia Grizzlies. Really changed how you can sell a team in the Coastal Plains League. Got the job there, and he was a coach, I believe. He was a coach with Scituate. Then he went to Gastonia. He was 27 years old. He was the general manager and managing partner of the Gastonia Grizzlies in the Coastal Plain League. And Then after working in Gastonia for a couple of years, the New York Mets decided to move their affiliate in Savannah, Georgia, from Savannah to Columbia. The Columbia Fireflies, who I believe they just got another team the other day. And the other day when this whole minor league thing is going around. So Jesse became a huge part. He took over he got the team with his ownership group in Savannah. Now, people didn't really take to it lightly. Didn't really take to the team lightly until they put out their name and everything changed for them. I watched a little documentary about this team. They made the name the Savannah Bananas in the 2016 season. Yes, the Savannah Bananas. And it's kind of unreal how everything changed. They got so much love over the internet. ESPN, MSNBC, CNN. They've welcomed over 1 million fans to their ballparks in the 10 years he's been working in the Coastal Plains League. And his trademark yellow tuxedo, that's what he wears to every game. That's why it's findyouryellowtux.com. He also wrote a book, which takes that writing we were talking about the blog. He wrote a book, Find Your Yellow Tux, How to Be Successful by Standing Out. He had a world book tour at Epcot, of all places, over in Florida. Really cool for Jesse Cole there. And it's one of the things that we love to hear about former Westerner players and what they're doing. He has a podcast now, Business Done Differently. He's over 100 of some of the world's leading entrepreneurs. When he was in Gastonia, he engaged his wife Emily. Actually, no, that was in Savannah, according right here. They married at the stadium, and they welcomed their first baby in 2018. He works with the Savannah Bananas, and just recently the Bananas announced they will have a one-town world tour, I believe, where they'll be playing in Mobile, Alabama. They had choices between Mobile, Pensacola, Florida, I believe was one of them, and New Orleans, who just lost their minor league team prior to the whole minor league cutbacks. And then Mobile lost a team as well. So they're playing Mobile, Alabama for like a one-team world tour. I believe that's what it is with the Savannah Bananas. And they've done a great job selling that team over there. They make baseball fun. They have a dance. So here's the thing about the Savannah Bananas. Now, I think they do a great job. And they're in a rival league to the NACBL. So what they do is they do a lot of cool things. The players all buy into the funny stuff they do. They've been featured in Good Morning America, Today, ESPN, Sports Illustrated, Cosmopolitan, and Yahoo. They have people say it's an electric factory, and they are doing that one world tour thing, I believe, in Mobile. And One City World Tour, that's what it's called, a One City World Tour in Mobile, Alabama, at Hank Aaron Stadium. They'll play a game March 26th. It was 5 cities that was there, and what they would do is the Bananas like to put their fans into everything. They like to get their fans involved. They do like different promotions. They have a dancing first base coach, which you don't ever see. And I recommend you check out their YouTube page to check out some of the crazy stuff they got going on in Savannah. So our alumni spotlight goes to one of the most accomplished summer baseball owners out there, a former Danbury Westerner of 2 years, Jesse Cole. So give a shout out to Jesse. We just shout him out on our Twitter to buy his book, Find Your Yellow Tux. We'll give you a link to that book, how to buy it. We're always great to shout out our Westerners alumni, past and present. Well, that's going to do it here for us here on the Danbury Westerners Podcast, Episode 2. Thank you to Bill Guider, John Pitzer for having us on. Hopefully you can check out all the links we got in our description on everything you can check out. And thank you for listening. Christian Gardecki here, signing off. Go Westerners, baby.
The Danbury Westerners Baseball Club would like to thank all of their fans, sponsors, and volunteers for 25 fun-filled years. They wish that 2020 could have been their 26th, but they're looking forward to seeing everyone at the newly renovated Rogers Park in June and July of 2021. And while you're waiting for baseball to resume, please patronize their sponsors. Pippa's Sports Cafe on South Street in Danbury is open for takeout. CT Braces of Danbury and Newtown is available for online consultations. And Ventura Law personal injury attorneys are available to talk about your case 24/7.
Westerners baseball simply cannot be beat. Everybody knows the score. The fans are screaming out for more. Excitement builds on through the night. His victory is soon in sight. The runner advances as he heads for home plate. Rounding the bases, there will be no debate. When the last run is in, the fans will proclaim the Danbury Westerners have won the